Good morning, students. This session is for class 12th. Students, we are studying magnetic effect of electric current. Okay. So today our topic is the moving coil galvanometer. Students, you can see the topic on the screen. Student, before starting this topic, let's start a quick revision of the topic. You can see on your screen. This is the topic, magnetic dipole moment of revolving electron. So you can see here, in this case we have calculated the dipole moment of revolving electron in case of hydrogen like atoms. Okay, so you know that the electronic charge is given by 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Then current in this loop is given by I is equal to E by T, because one electron is revolving around the nucleus. Then the direction of current is clockwise direction, because the electron is revolving in anti-clockwise direction. You can see in this picture 4.23. So the total time period of one revolution is given by 2 pi r, that is total length of perimeter upon speed of electron. So this is time period of for one complete revolution. So current I is given by electronic charge upon time period. Okay, so we can substitute value of T in equation 4.32 to calculate the current in terms of radius and speed of electron. So after putting these values in equation number 4.32, you will get the current is equal to EV upon 2 pi r. Okay, when you substitute this value of T in equation 4.32, that is I is equal to E by T, you will get this result, I is equal to EV upon 2 pi r. You can see here, this is the result, EV upon 2 pi r. Now the magnetic moment is defined as the I into A. I means current, A means area. So you can see here the magnetic moment mu L. For hydrogen like atoms it is represented by mu, otherwise it is generally represented by small m. So you can see here m is equal to I into A, that is pi r square. Now since we have value of I in this equation here, you can see the value of I, you can substitute this value of I here and you will get the magnetic moment in terms of electronic charge, speed, radius by 2. This is EVR by 2. Okay, so the direction of this magnetic moment is into the plane of paper. This is given by right hand rule. Okay, so direction of this magnetic moment is into the plane of paper. In figure 4.23 you can see, this is the picture. You can see here, okay, this one is the diagram. You can see here the current is in clockwise direction. So direction of magnetic moment is perpendicular and inward the plane of paper. Okay, this is by using right hand rule. Now since we know that this equation can be changed in terms of angular momentum L, that is defined by mv into r, where m is mass of electron, v is speed, and radius is r. So you can multiply and divide in this equation by mass of electron and you will get the angular momentum of electron upon 2me, E into angular momentum upon 2me. So the magnetic moment mu L is equal to E into angular momentum upon 2me. Here L is magnitude of the angular momentum of electron about the central nucleus. Okay, and this is also known as orbital angular momentum. If we consider the vector form, you can see in this picture the electron is revolving opposite to the current. Okay, so that the direction of angular momentum is perpendicular and outward, whereas the direction of magnetic moment is perpendicular and inward. It means the magnetic moment and orbital angular momentum of electron are in opposite directions. So you can see here this mu L is opposite to the this L. Okay, so this is due to electron. But if at the place of electron, if there is any positive charge revolving on the circular track, then direction of current and the direction of revolution of positive charge will be same. So in that case the magnetic moment and the orbital angular momentum are in same direction. Okay, so the final result will given by mu L upon L is equal to E by 2me. You can write in terms of mu L also. So that will be mu L is equal to E by 2m into orbital angular momentum. Now this ratio, that is mu L by L, is very important constant, that is known as gyromagnetic ratio, and is constant. Its value is given by 8.8 into 10 to the power 10 coulomb per kg. Okay, so this is the value of this gyromagnetic ratio. This is true for all the atoms and its value is fixed. It is not changed with different atoms, because you can see now according to Bohr postulates, that is Bohr quantization condition, you can see L is equal to nh by 2 pi. This is one of the postulates of Bohr atomic model. So you can replace this L by this value, that is nh by 2 pi, where n is integral number, that is 1 2 3 and so on, and h is the Planck's constant. The value of the Planck's constant is given by 6.6 into 10 to the power minus 34. In standard form you can take 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second. Okay, and n is number, that is 1 2 3 and so on. Okay, so you can see here this condition of discreteness is called the Bohr quantization condition, and you can use this condition in this equation 4.35, and you will get the result like this, that is mu is equal to NEH upon 4 pi me. Here n is replaced by 1 for the minimum value, since the minimum possible value of n is 1. So in this case here n is equal to 1. So the minimum magnetic moment is given by EH upon 4 pi me. Here n is taken as 1. So after substituting the values of these constant, that is EH pi into me, you will get the results, and after calculation you will get 9.27 into 10 to the power minus 34 ampere meter square. Since you know that ampere meter square is unit of magnetic moment, and you can calculate these thing easily, because you can cancel this 1.6 by 0.4 times, then 6.63 is approximately by 2 times, and the powers you can see here. So you can calculate this one easily, and this mean means the minimum value of this magnetic moment. You can see here where the subscript mean stand for minimum, and this value, that is important constant, is known as Bohr magnetron. So you can see here this is Bohr magnetron. This is very important question for your board examination and other competitive examination. So you must remember the value of gyromagnetic ratio, that is also a constant, and Bohr magnetron, this is also one of different constant. These values are very important for examinations. Students, Bohr magnetron is the minimum value of magnetic moment. Okay, so you must remember the minimum value of magnetic moment is known as Bohr magnetron. So after this, in this paragraph it is explained that in this paragraph or in this topic we consider that the electron orbiting or electron revolving around the nucleus as Earth revolves around the Sun, but we are not taking account that the spin of the electron here. Similarly, as Earth perform spin around its axis, similarly electron also spin around its axis, but in this explanation it is not taken in account. In higher classes we will add magnetic field due to spin motion of electron, but here it is taken only by the orbital motion of electron. Okay, so student, our next topic is the moving coil galvanometer. Okay, so students, what is galvanometer? So let us understand what is galvanometer. Galvanometer is a very sensitive device which is used to measure the direction, used to measure current, and you can find out the direction of flow of current in a circuit. Okay, so let's see what is galvanometer. you can see here the moving coil galvanometer. It is a device whose principle can be understood on the basis of our discussion in section 4.10, but I am going to explain the principle of moving coil galvanometer. Its working is based on the principle that the current carrying loop experiences torque in uniform magnetic field. Okay, so this is the basic principle of working of this moving coil galvanometer. Let me repeat the principle of moving coil galvanometer, and that is the current carrying loop in uniform magnetic field experiences torque. Okay, so this is the basic principle of working of galvanometer. You can see here the galvanometer consists of coil with many turns free to rotate about a fixed axis in uniform radial magnetic field. There is a cylindrical soft iron core. Students, the use of this cylindrical soft iron core is to increase the magnetic field. This is not only makes the field radial but also increases the strength. You can see here, this is very important question. So question is, what is use of cylindrical soft iron core? So it increases the strength of magnetic field and makes the field radial. Okay, so these are the uses of this cylindrical soft iron. When current flow through the coil, the torque acts on it is given by tau is equal to NIAB. So we have already discussed this formula when we have completed the topic, the current carrying loop, torque on current carrying loop. This was the topic we have already discussed in this same chapter. So we obtained there, this is the formula, that is tau is equal to NIAB. Okay, so this was the formula, tau is equal to NIAB. Now where the symbols have their usual meaning, since the field is radial by design, we have taken sine theta is equal to 1. So for radial field, theta is 90 degree and you will take sine theta is equal to 1. It means the maximum value of the sine theta. In the above expression for torque, the magnetic torque NIAB tend to rotate the coil. So since theta is equal to sine theta is equal to 1, so our maximum value of torque becomes NIAB for a coil which contains N turns, I current, A is area and B is external magnetic field. So this is the amount of torque, but this torque rotates the coil. Okay, this torque rotates the coil. Now the spring provides a counter torque K phi, where phi is the angle of twist, you can say, that balances the magnetic torque NIAB, resulting in a steady angular deflection phi. So in equilibrium, you can say K phi is equal to NIAB. Student, I hope you understand, when coil start its rotation, then there is twist in the wire attached with the coil. So there is a twisting torque which balances this magnetic torque of the coil, and that twisting torque is given by K phi, where K is constant of the material, you can say the twisting constant, and phi is the deflection, angular deflection, you can say. So in equilibrium, these two are equal because there is no further rotation. So in that case, these two are equal. So where K is torsional constant of the spring, you can say torsional constant. The restoring torque per unit twist. So this one is also known as restoring torque per unit twist. So this is different name of this constant K. You can use any one of them. The deflection phi is indicated on the scale by a pointer attached to the spring. Then finally we can rearrange this equation in terms of phi. So you can write phi is equal to NAB by K into I. So this one is the equation. Now you can say in this case the quantity in bracket is a constant for a given galvanometer. So these are constant, that is number of turn, area, magnetic field, that is external magnetic field, and K. These things are constant for a given galvanometer. This I is variable for different circuits. Okay, So you can see in this diagram, this one is the magnet used to generate the external magnetic field. Okay, now you can see the coil. You can see these are the coil which are wounded on cylindrical iron. Okay, now this cylindrical iron, or you can say iron cylinder, make radial this magnetic field and increase the strength of this magnetic field. You can say this is soft iron core. Okay, now this one is the needle attached to this coil. Okay, this will be used for measuring angle of twist. Okay, and you can see the uniform radial magnetic field here, permanent magnets, pointer, scale. This one is the diagram for moving coil galvanometer. So you can see here the moving coil galvanometer, its elements are described in the text. Depending on the requirement, this device can be used as a current detector or for measuring the value of current, ammeter or voltmeter. So you can see here, this device can be used to find out the direction of current in the circuit. Then it can also measure the current in the circuit. It means it can be used as ammeter. Then in many circuits, by some changes, the same thing can be used as a voltmeter, means to measure potential difference between any 2 points of the circuit. So this is very important device, and by doing some change in this external circuit with this galvanometer, you can use this galvanometer for different purposes. We have already discussed about them, and which is mentioned here. You can see here, for current detector means like ammeter, and for voltage like voltmeter. Okay, so you can use according to the purpose. Now you can see here the use of the galvanometer. The galvanometer can be used in number of ways. It can be used as detector of to check if a current is flowing in the circuit. We have come across these uses in the Wheatstone bridge arrangement. So student, in different experiment like meter bridge, like in case of potentiometer, we will use this galvanometer. You have already used this galvanometer in one of the concept of Wheatstone bridge. Okay, we have come across the usage of Wheatstone bridge arrangement. In these uses, the neutral point of pointer when no current is flowing through the galvanometer is the middle of the scale and not at the left as shown in the figure. So in case of galvanometer, this point is actually the 0 point. Okay, and this needle can be deflect both sides from the 0. If it is directed in this direction, it means current in this circuit is 0, otherwise it is something in different directions. Okay, depending on the direction of the current, the pointer deflection is either on to the left or right. Okay, so you can see here, the galvanometer cannot as such be used as an ammeter to measure the value of currents in a given circuit. This is for two reasons. So you can see here, the galvanometer cannot be used as an ammeter to measure the value of current in a given circuit for two reasons. The first one is, galvanometer is a very sensitive device. Okay, it gives full scale deflection for a current of order microampere. So suppose if there is 1 microampere current and it is giving full deflection, like it deflect fully, so you cannot measure the 1 ampere or 0.1 ampere current by using this galvanometer. Okay, now for measuring current, the galvanometer has to be connected in series, and as it has a large resistance, this will change the value of current in the circuit. So the second point why we are not using directly in this circuit for measuring the current is, for measuring the current the galvanometer has to be connected in series. तो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं, किसी भी सर्किट में अगर आपको करंट मेजर करना है तो आप गैल्वेनोमीटर हो या फिर अमीटर हो, उसको आपको सर्किट के सीरीज में कनेक्ट करना होता है. एंड सिंस क्योंकि इसका लार्ज रेजिस्टेंस होता है, तो जब भी इसको सर्किट के सीरीज में कनेक्ट करेंगे ये क्या करेगा, सर्किट का रेजिस्टेंस चेंज कर देगा और जिससे करंट की वैल्यू चेंज हो जाएगी। तो वही यहाँ पे मेंशन किया गया है। एंड इट हैज़ अ लार्ज रेजिस्टेंस, दिस विल चेंज द वैल्यू ऑफ करंट इन द सर्किट। टू ओवरकम दिस डिफिकल्टीज, one attaches a small resistance R S called shunt resistance in parallel with the galvanometer coil, okay, so that the most of the current passes through the shunt. The resistance of this arrangement is given by this value, okay. Rg, this is the resistance, this one is the small resistance upon Rg plus Rs is equal to Rs. If this Rg is greater than Rs, if Rs has small value in relation to resistance of the rest of resistance Rc, the effect of introducing the measuring instrument is also small and negligible. So you can see here, this is the value. We will derive this formula in next session, okay. Must remember, this is the equation. The resistance of this arrangement is given by this equation, and this is taken as this one for, since this one is much greater than Rs. So if this Rg is much greater than Rs, you can neglect this Rs here, and this Rg is cancelled by this Rg, so this will become Rs, okay. So you can see here, if Rs has a small value in relation to the resistance of the rest of the circuit Rc, the effect of introducing the measuring instrument is also small and negligible. तो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं, जो अगर आप शंट रेजिस्टेंस वेरी लो रखते हैं तो जो सर्किट का टोटल रेजिस्टेंस होता है वो उसमें जो चेंज है वो नेग्लिजिबल चेंज है, ठीक है। और उस कंडीशन में यहाँ पे करंट में कोई चेंज नहीं होगी। तो आप देख सकते हैं अरेंजमेंट इज सिमेट्रिकली शोन इन फिगर 4.25। यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं ये है अमीटर की तरह, अगर इसको यूज़ करना है तो ये है गैल्वेनोमीटर, ये इसका इंटरनल रेजिस्टेंस है। आपको इस गैल्वेनोमीटर के पैरेलल में एक स्मॉल रेजिस्टेंस कनेक्ट करना है, इस स्मॉल रेजिस्टेंस को बोलते हैं शंट रेजिस्टेंस, ठीक है। इसको कनेक्ट करने से फ़ायदा क्या होता है, जब इसको कनेक्ट कर देते हैं और अब इस सिस्टम को जब किसी सर्किट में सीरीज कम्बिनेशन में कनेक्ट करते हैं तो इस सर्किट का जो रेजिस्टेंस है वो इफेक्टिव नहीं होता है, जिससे सर्किट में करंट चेंज नहीं होती है। तो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं अरेंजमेंट इज सिमेट्रिकली शोन इन फिगर। द स्केल ऑफ दिस अमीटर इज कैलिब्रेटेड एंड देन ग्रेजुएटेड टू रीड ऑफ द करंट वैल्यू विद एल्स। We define the current sensitivity of the galvanometer as the deflection per unit current. So यहाँ पे अगर आपको करंट सेंसिटिविटी के बारे में बताना है तो करंट सेंसिटिविटी को डिफाइन किया जाता है, इट इज डिफाइंड एज द डिफ्लेक्शन पर यूनिट करंट। तो अगर आप डिफ्लेक्शन पर यूनिट करंट एक फिजिकल क्वांटिटी है जिसकी बात करें तो इसको बोलते हैं करंट सेंसिटिविटी। तो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं करंट सेंसिटिविटी 5/I is equal to NAB/K. A convenient way for manufacturer to increase the sensitivity is to increase the number of turns N. We choose galvanometers having the sensitivities of value required by our experiment. The galvanometer can also be used as a voltmeter to measure the voltage across a given section of the circuit. For this, it must be connected in parallel with that section of the circuit. तो अगर आप किसी गैल्वेनोमीटर से पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस मेजर करना चाहते हैं किसी सर्किट में या उसे वोल्ट मीटर की तरह से यूज़ करना चाहते हैं तो आपको इस गैल्वेनोमीटर को सर्किट में उस पार्ट के पैरेलल कनेक्ट करना होगा, ठीक है। बट इन अगेन दिस केस देयर इज सम रेजिस्टेंस ऑफ दिस गैल्वेनोमीटर। तो यहाँ पे गैल्वेनोमीटर के पास फिर से कुछ ना कुछ तो रेजिस्टेंस होगा ही। तो यहाँ पे देखते हैं क्या होता है। लेट मी रिपीट, the galvanometer can also be used as a voltmeter to measure the voltage across a given section of circuit. For this, it must be connected in parallel with that section of the circuit. Further, it must draw a very small current. Otherwise, the voltage measurement will disturb the original setup by an amount which is very large. ठीक है। तो यहाँ पे हम किसी तरीके का डिस्टर्बेंस नहीं करना चाहते हैं सर्किट में, एंड सो यूजुअली वी लाइक टू कीप द डिस्टर्बेंस ड्यू टू द मेजरिंग डिवाइस बिलो 1%। और हम क्या चाहते हैं कि जो भी मेजरिंग डिवाइस हो हमारे पास उनसे जो भी एरर हो वो 1% से लेस ही रहे, ठीक है, किसी भी तरीके का डिस्टर्बेंस वो नहीं करें। तो इसके लिए उन्हें हम लोग प्रॉपर सेटअप में यूज़ करते हैं। तो टू इंश्योर दिस अ लार्ज रेजिस्टेंस आर इज कनेक्टेड इन सीरीज विद द गैल्वेनोमीटर। दिस अरेंजमेंट इज सिमेट्रिकली डिपिक्टेड इन फिगर 4.26 and note that the resistance of the voltmeter is now। so एक वोल्ट मीटर का रेजिस्टेंस जो होता है अपना वो बहुत ही हाई होना चाहिए, और इसी पर्पज़ को ध्यान में रखते हुए जो हमारा गैल्वेनोमीटर है उसको जब वोल्ट मीटर के फॉर्म में यूज़ करते हैं, आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं ये वोल्ट मीटर में कन्वर्जन किया जा रहा है, इसका कन्वर्जन ऑफ अ गैल्वेनोमीटर जी टू अ वोल्ट मीटर बाय द इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ अ रेजिस्टेंस आर ऑफ लार्ज वैल्यू इन सीरीज। तो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं एक रेजिस्टेंस इसके सीरीज में कनेक्ट किया जा रहा है और ये बहुत ही लार्ज रेजिस्टेंस है, ठीक है, इसको इस सर्किट के सीरीज में कनेक्ट किया जा रहा है, और इस तरीके से ये जो सिस्टम है ये बन जाएगा आपका वोल्ट मीटर, ठीक है। तो आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं आर जी प्लस आर इज इक्वल टू आर, दिस इज वेरी लार्ज। द स्केल ऑफ वोल्ट मीटर इज कैलिब्रेटेड टू रीड ऑफ द वैल्यूज, रीड ऑफ द वोल्टेज वैल्यू विथ ईज। तो यहाँ पे फिर से जो भी हमारा स्केल है उसको कैलिब्रेट कर लेते हैं और डिफाइन करते हैं वोल्टेज सेंसिटिविटी। जैसे कि आपने करंट सेंसिटिविटी डिफाइन किया है, तो करंट सेंसिटिविटी डिफ्लेक्शन पर यूनिट करंट है, यहाँ पे वोल्टेज सेंसिटिविटी डिफ्लेक्शन पर यूनिट वोल्टेज है। तो आपको यहाँ पे याद रहेगा, आप यहाँ पे फाई बाई वी लिख सकते हैं और अब इनकी वैल्यूज लिख देते हैं। तो आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे फाई की वैल्यू जो है एन ए बी अपॉन के इंटू आई है, और v से इसको डिवाइड कर देते हैं। तो यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं v इज इक्वल टू आई आर भी लिख सकते हैं। तो अगर आप यहाँ पे देखें, अगर आप यहाँ पे देखें तो एन ए बी बाई के ओके इंटू 1 बाई आर यहाँ पे मिलता है, क्योंकि v की वैल्यू i इंटू आर आप यहाँ पे यूज़ कर सकते हैं। तो यहाँ पे आपको मिलता है एन ए बी बाई के इंटू 1 अपॉन आर। सो ये जो वैल्यू है ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, ये वोल्टेज सेंसिटिविटी की डिफिनेशन है, यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। ये जो गैल्वेनोमीटर है इसको यहाँ पे वोल्ट मीटर के फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट कर दिया गया है बाय यूजिंग वेरी लार्ज रेजिस्टेंस इन सीरीज विद दिस गैल्वेनोमीटर। ओके, नाउ एन इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट टू नोट इज दैट इंक्रीजिंग द करंट सेंसिटिविटी मे नॉट नेसेसरली इंक्रीज द वोल्टेज सेंसिटिविटी। तो यहाँ पे दिखाया जा रहा है कि अगर हम लोग करंट सेंसिटिविटी इंक्रीज करेंगे इसका मतलब ये जरूरी नहीं है कि उसकी वोल्टेज सेंसिटिविटी भी इंक्रीज हो जाए। इसके लिए एक एग्जांपल से इस बात को समझ लेते हैं। तो देखते हैं कि लेट अस इक्वेशन 4.39 आपने देखा है जिसमें कि आपने करंट सेंसिटिविटी डिफाइन किया है, ये देख सकते हैं आप 5 बाई आई इज इक्वल टू एन ए बी बाई के। ओके, सो विच प्रोवाइड द मेजर ऑफ करंट सेंसिटिविटी। आप इस इक्वेशन से करंट सेंसिटिविटी मेजर कर सकते हैं। मान लीजिए कि अब जो नंबर ऑफ टर्न्स हैं कॉइल में उसको n की जगह पे 2n कर देते हैं। तो जैसे ही 2n करेंगे यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं करंट सेंसिटिविटी डबल हो जाएगी। तो आप देख सकते हैं द करंट सेंसिटिविटी इज डबल, वी डबल द नंबर ऑफ टर्न देन करंट सेंसिटिविटी 5 बाई आई बिकम्स 2 टाइम्स 5 बाई आई। So you can see the current sensitivity doubles, however the resistance of the galvanometer also likely to be double। अब क्योंकि आप वायर का लेंथ इंक्रीज करेंगे तो उस वायर का जो रेजिस्टेंस है वो भी डबल होगा, ठीक है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे आपने वायर को ऐड किया हुआ है, इसको स्ट्रेच नहीं किया गया है। स्ट्रेच करते तो 4 टाइम्स हो जाता है। इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन, यहाँ पे इसको स्ट्रेच करके नहीं डबल किया जा रहा बल्कि इसमें एडिशनल वायर ऐड कर रहे हैं। तो जितना ऐड करते हैं उतना ही टाइम इसका रेजिस्टेंस इंक्रीज होता है। तो यहाँ पे n है तो 2n हो जाएगा। तो ये लेंथ, तो यहाँ पे जो रेजिस्टेंस है वो r से 2r होगा। अब यहाँ पे जब वोल्टेज सेंसिटिविटी वाले इक्वेशन 4.40 की बात करेंगे तो यहाँ पे अगर आप n की वैल्यू को 2n रखते हैं तो r की वैल्यू यहाँ पे 2r हो जाती है, और इस तरीके से 2 और 2 कैंसिल हो जाता है और ये कंप्लीट टर्म कांस्टेंट ही रह जाता है। तो यहाँ पे वोल्टेज सेंसिटिविटी में देख रहे हैं कोई चेंज नहीं होता है। तो यहाँ पे आप देख रहे हैं voltage sensitivity remains unchanged, so in general the modification needed for conversion of a galvanometer to an ammeter will be different from what we needed to converting it into voltmeter. तो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं, ये इंपॉर्टेंट है। मॉडिफिकेशन जो भी आप कर रहे हैं गैल्वेनोमीटर को अमीटर में बदलने के लिए, जरूरी नहीं है कि वही करें आप उसको वोल्टमीटर के बदलने के लिए, बल्कि वोल्टमीटर में बदलने के लिए हमें कुछ अलग कन्वर्जन करने होते हैं। तो ये है डिस्कशन, ये रहा कंप्लीट आपका गैल्वेनोमीटर और उसका कन्वर्जन इनटू अमीटर एंड वोल्टमीटर। स्टूडेंट, आई होप कि आपको ये समझ में आया है। बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है आपके एग्जाम्स के लिए, ठीक है, और एक्सपेरिमेंट के लिए भी, क्योंकि आपके सिलेबस में बहुत सारे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के एक्सपेरिमेंट हैं जिसमें गैल्वेनोमीटर में यूज़ करना है, तो आपको गैल्वेनोमीटर अच्छे से आना चाहिए, ठीक है। इस टॉपिक को 2-3 बार रिवाइज करिए और इससे रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करिए। जो भी डाउट है हम लोग डिस्कस कर सकते हैं। थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग।